Vivienne slipped back into the gallery, her black gown a whisper against her skin, the fabric teasingly low, barely containing the curve of her breasts. The champagne buzzed in her veins, but the unease from the garden lingered. She scanned the room, her eyes catching on a new figure, a woman named Elise, mid-30s, with jet black hair and a silver dress that clung to her like liquid mercury. Elise's gaze was predatory, her lips curling as she watched Vivienne move. She was a curator, rumored to fix auctions for wealthy clients, a secret that could ruin her if it spilled. Vivienne felt the pull, a spark of curiosity. She approached, her hips swaying, aware of every eye on her. "You're starring," Vivienne purred, her voice low, her breath warm as she leaned close. Elise didn't flinch, her fingers grazing Vivienne's wrist, sending a jolt through her. "I like what I see," Elise replied, her voice husky, laced with intent. They clinked glasses, the air between them electric. Vivienne's gown slipped slightly, a glimpse of lace beneath catching Elise's eye. The moment stretched, heavy with unspoken promises. Elise invited her to a private viewing room to see a piece not on display. Vivienne followed, her pulse quickening. The room was dim, a single painting lit, a nude, raw and unapologetic. Elise stood close, her hand brushing Vivienne's lower back, fingers lingering where the gown dipped. "You live like you don't care," Elise whispered, her lips near Vivienne's ear. "But what's your secret?" Vivienne laughed softly, her body arching slightly toward Elise. "I don't keep secrets. They're too heavy." But Elise's eyes said she did, a secret that could unravel her pristine world. The viewing room was a cocoon of shadows, the air thick with desire. Vivienne leaned against the wall, her gown riding up her thigh as Elise stepped closer, her fingers trailing along Vivienne's collarbone, down to the edge of her dress. The touch was deliberate, igniting heat under Vivienne's skin. "You're dangerous," Elise murmured, her lips brushing Vivienne's neck, the contact sending a shiver through her. Vivienne tilted her head back, exposing more skin, her breath hitching as Elise's hand slid lower, teasing the lace beneath her gown. Vivienne didn't care about the consequences, not Elise's rumored dealings, not the crowd beyond the door. She pulled Elise closer, their bodies pressed together, the silver dress cool against Vivienne's flushed skin. Their kiss was hungry, all teeth and heat, Vivienne's fingers tangling in Elise's hair. The painting watched, its nude figure a silent witness to their recklessness. Elise's secret, her ties to a black market art ring, hovered unspoken, a bomb waiting to detonate if exposed. But Vivienne thrived on the edge, her hands exploring Elise's curves, the moment raw and unscripted. The door creaked and they froze. A man stood there, Gabriel, a gallery investor with sharp cheekbones and a smile that hid his own secret. He'd been skimming profits, a betrayal that could bankrupt the gallery. "Am I interrupting?" he asked, his voice smooth but laced with danger. Vivienne smirked, adjusting her gown, her skin still tingling. "Only if you want to join," she teased, her eyes daring him. Gabriel's gaze flickered between them, lust and calculation warring in his eyes. The room felt like it might combust. Gabriel stepped inside, closing the door with a soft click. The air grew grew heavier, charged with possibility. Vivienne's gown was disheveled now, one strap off her shoulder, revealing the swell of her breast beneath the lace. She didn't bother fixing it, her eyes locked on Gabriel, then Elise, testing their limits. Gabriel's secret made him bold. He couldn't afford to care about propriety when his own lies could ruin him. "You two are a scandal waiting to happen," he said, his voice low, stepping closer. Elise laughed, her hand still on Vivienne's hip, possessive yet teasing. Vivienne moved first, her fingers brushing Gabriel's chest, feeling his heartbeat quicken. "Scandals are only fun if you get caught," she whispered, her lips grazing his jaw. Elise watched, her eyes dark with a mix of jealousy and arousal. Her own desires tangled with the fear of her auction fixing being exposed. Gabriel's hands found Vivienne's waist, pulling her against him, the fabric of her gown bunching under his grip. Elise joined them, her touch bolder now, sliding up Vivienne's thigh. The three of them, a knot of heat and hidden truths. Outside, Julian's wife lingered, her suspicions confirmed by a whispered tip about Vivienne. She clutched her phone, a photo of Elise and Gabriel together at a shady deal, evidence that could destroy them both. Vivienne, oblivious, lost herself in the moment, her skin bare where the gown slipped further, her body alive with the thrill of crossing lines. But the secrets circling them, Elise's deals, Gabriel's theft, Julian's wife's vengeance, were closing in. A storm Vivienne couldn't outrun forever. The viewing room was a haze of tangled limbs and whispered promises. Vivienne's gown was a pool of black silk on the floor, her body barely covered by lace as Gabriel's hands roamed her back, Elise's lips tracing her shoulder. The air was thick with their combined heat, the painting's nude figure a mirror to their abandon. Vivienne thrived in the chaos, her laughter soft and wicked as she guided their touches, her body arching into their hands. She didn't care about their secrets, Elise's art ring, Gabriel's embezzlement, or the consequences they carried. She was the flame, and they burned for her. But the door burst open, shattering the moment. Julian's wife, Marion, stood there, her face a mask of fury, the photo on her phone glowing like a weapon. "You're all disgusting," she spat, her eyes locking on Vivienne, then Elise, then Gabriel. "And you're done." She knew everything: Gabriel's theft, Elise's fixes, Vivienne's role as the spark that lit their downfall. The photo was proof, a single click away from ruining them all. Vivienne, half naked and unashamed, met Marion's gaze with a defiant smile. "Go ahead," she said, her voice dripping with challenge. "Burn it all down." Marion hesitated, her anger warring with the pain of her own betrayal. Gabriel stepped back, his face pale, knowing exposure meant prison. Elise's hand tightened on Vivienne's arm, her secret teetering on the edge of ruin. Vivienne, though, felt alive, her skin flushed, her heart racing. She didn't care about the fallout, not yet. But as Marion raised her phone, the weight of their choices crashed in, a reckoning none of them could escape. Vivienne's careless world was fracturing, and for the first time, she wondered what it would cost to keep burning.